when you're on that roof and you hear the grenade hit the ground, right? It obviously all must have happened very fast, but are you just thinking like, this is my time, this is it? Do you remember what you were thinking, or can you talk about it? Or
Yeah, for sure. So I unfortunately don't remember what I was thinking in the moments leading up to the grenade, which I used to get frustrated about. I realized that was a very wrong outlook, and I should just be very thankful.
Well, it's your
to
brain
be here.
protecting you.
Yeah.
You know?
And so even though I don't remember, if I had to guess, from the moment you step onto those yellow footprints at Paris Island and start your 13 weeks of boot camp, every single day you're broken down mentally, physically, and emotionally. But through those very difficult moments, you're taught day in and day out of the history and the legacy of the Marine Corps. Mm-hmm. And you're taught about all of those Marines that covered grenades for their fellow Marines through the different campaigns of our nation. You're told about the Marines at 17, 18, 19 years old that were told, hey, you're probably not even going to make it out of the landing craft to try to get onto the beach. And if you do, you probably only have 10, 15 seconds to live before you get killed. And they not only jumped out of that landing craft, but they charged the beach knowing what the arguably inevitable outcome was going to be. And they still did that. So with that said, and it's not, people think through our training, they're always throwing like fake grenades and seeing who will jump on it and all this stuff. No, it is teaching in a way that makes you want to be courageous and makes you want to step up as a Marine to uphold that legacy and make the Marines that have gone before us and done all of those superhuman, just incredible and powerful things, to make them proud.
Yeah.
So I don't remember what I was thinking, but like I said, I'm so thankful that I stepped up when I needed to. But with that said, on November 21st, 2010, like I was saying earlier, every single day was a constant and never-ending, from sunup to sundown, fight for our lives. We were in a new compound now. We had taken it 2 days before on November 19th. We were completely surrounded. It was just myself and my squad of Marines. There's roughly 12 Marines in a squad, mm-hmm. with a Navy corpsman who is our medic attached to us. I only remember two things from that day. The first is, like every day, our alarm clock was AK-47 fire. Our base was getting attacked. I remember, and this just...
Yeah, that's how you wake up.
Yeah, and this just shows how crazy the deployment in the 4 months before that was. Because I remember slowly rolling over, like I was annoyed by an actual alarm clock. Slowly,
if my dog's barking wakes me up, I'm like, motherfucker, this is going to be a bad day.
Slowly roll over, and it's about 7:45 in the morning. I remember unzipping my sleeping bag and thinking to myself kind of like, here we go again, another day in Afghanistan.
Ugh.
Fast forward, I don't remember anything from the entire day except for what I'm about to get into. But kind of the setup is myself and a fellow Marine, an amazing Marine and best friend, Nick Eufrazio, were on top of a roof. And we were on what's called a post position. And people not familiar with military terminology and listening, that's just essentially a lookout position. We're on top of this roof. We're looking out of the four walls of as best we can of this compound, trying to protect the Marines inside the courtyard of the compound.
And it was typically just one of you, right? Is that what it said in the book?
Typically just one. But the day before, I had just got off another shift of post. And right after I jumped off the roof, which I talk about the story in the book, but a rocket came in and completely vaporized not only our sandbags that were up there that we had kind of built in a semicircle to protect who was ever on post, but the damage from the rocket, eventually later that night, it caused the roof to collapse. So we were down an entire corner of the compound and vantage point. And so we were up there kind of double teaming this one roof we had left to, just have more eyes on.
Yeah.
And so, there's always a Marine standing post, because obviously all the Marines that aren't standing post are resting, eating, cleaning their weapons. So we're looking out for them. Well, Marines stand post for 4-hour shifts at a time. We were towards the end of our 4-hour shift. It was mid-afternoon, I believe, and the enemy initiated daylight attack.
And these guys only attacked in the daylight, you said, right?
That is correct.
They don't have night vision?
Yeah.
You guys did?
Yeah, and they knew that we obviously did. So, and I mean, a lot of, maybe not a lot, but there is a portion of people that are shooting at us, planting IEDs, because the Taliban, they know if they don't help, their whole family is dead. No questions asked. So
what do you mean? The people in the village are helping the Taliban because they know the Taliban will kill them?
Yes, forced to fight.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have no way out. And, these people grow poppy and marijuana and drugs in these fields of these cash crops, illegal cash crops, which funds terrorist activities, which funds their fighting, their weapons, all of these things in that area. And the reason Marshall was so bad at that time period, because when President Obama decided to send a troop surge of 30,000, all the Taliban fighters condensed and came to this small little, look it up on Google Maps, people. You can not only look at the villages and the compounds to get a better mental image, but you can see how small Marja is.
How do you spell Marja?
Marjah.
Marjah. So look it up on Google Maps.
And the UN...
and have a panic attack like I would if I was still alive.
And the UN did a study in 2011, which I also talk about in the book. And pretty much in 2011, you get heroin anywhere in the world, and there's an 82% chance, I believe, that it came from that little patch of farmland. So they condensed into that area to protect that vital cash flow and blood supply to the enemy. Oh, yeah. And so, and actually in the book, I have
why is it so desolate in that area? And then outside, is that the farmland outside of that
all
area?
of those just little squares and patches are just agricultural fields. And those are compounds. They're all very similar. And these compounds, they'll have a little room built on it, because we were on a roof where the family sleeps. But then the courtyards are all open where the farm animals stay. Everything's kind of one house. The farm animals, the crops they're drying out, everything's in their family's compound. And so
and you can see this picture and not have a breakdown.
I saw the real thing. So
I know it's just you're a really mentally tough dude.
Thank you. I appreciate that.